I volunteered to make the cake for my work. There's one of my coworkers is leaving, so I volunteered to create the cake. This is the first time I ever do kind of a professional cake. So I already created the carrot cake, and it has, and what I did is I just went and got a recipe on the internet, and then after I made the carrot cake, I went ahead and made a crumb coat. So I took some cream cheese frosting, I put a light coat of cream cheese frosting on it. I put it in the refrigerator overnight to create that nice little crumb coat. Now, the next thing I did is I created some fondant 2 days ago and put it in the refrigerator, because you create the fondant with 24 hours before you use it, and you're supposed to let it cure for 24 hours. So it's been curing for 2 days in the refrigerator, and it's marshmallow fondant. So basically it was just a recipe that I found on the internet, and that's what I use. Now I did try to create some flowers. So I did some flowers here, as you can see there, and actually I have a little punch. So let me go ahead and grab that punch so you can see what I used. So I bought this Wilton beautiful gum paste flower, so I was practicing with this. And it comes with all this stuff, and this. Well, my flower didn't come out too well. You know, I'm used to making clay flowers, and I thought, that'll be a cinch. I can do that. Not really. So I still have to practice. So I'm going to have more videos on practicing how to create the flowers, especially if I learn how to make some shortcuts to make them. That'd be perfect. But, so these were good. So what I did is I took one of these. You insert one of these in this thing. Okay. Let's make sure. You insert it. You roll out the gum paste at least a 1/4 inch thick. You place this in. It cuts it. Then once it cuts it, you take this little thing, and you, with the fondant, it has the fondant with the little thing. You put it down, and then it comes out. And then that's what I'm going to use to decorate the cake. I'm thinking about creating a branch. I'm not sure. This is just I'm winging it as we go. I don't really have a design in mind, but I just want to show you how, even though I'm not an experienced cake decorator, we can still make nice cakes. So let me go ahead and get my frosting ready, because I have to make another coat of frosting. Then we're going to roll out this fondant, this big thing. I'm going to use this Floral Fantasy Fondant imprint mat to see how that works. My sister bought me this for Christmas, and I just dying to use it to see how it's going to work. This is the first time I'm going to use this thing. And I'm going to lay it on the cake. Ready to put another layer of cream cheese. So here's my cream cheese, and I found a recipe online, and I just want to put another coat because we're going to put the fondant on top of this, and try to put an even coat throughout the cake. Like you see there, I'm trying to make it all even, and then make sure you're going to put some on the side. And what this does, it helps kind of make sure that the fondant stays on the cake and doesn't slip off the cake. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside and start working on my fondant, and I'll be back. Okay, so now I frosted my cake, so now I'm ready to work on this fondant. It's been about an hour since I took it out of the refrigerator. It's a big thing of fondant. And I think there, I'm going to dust my surface. I think I need more than that. Hold on. Dust my surface. I think that's how you do it. Let me kind of cut it in half, and I'm going to put the rest in this bag again, and later on I'll just put another saran wrap around it. Now I'm going to knead it to soften it up. Okay, I rolled it out. You cannot believe how hard it is to roll this thing out. It was, first I had to knead it for a long time, then I had to roll it out, and now I'm ready to do my imprint. So now, hopefully, so I'm gonna take my roller and imprint it, and I hope that's how it's done. Pretend it's a folder in a Cuttlebug. This is hard work. No wonder they charge tons of money for making cakes. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Hey, I like that. Oh, how am I going to do the imprint on the other side? Oops. Let's see. Good. Can I match it up? Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can match it up a little bit. Okay, and I just go from here down. Let's look and see. Not too shabby, maybe. Uh-oh, right there. I'll just do a little bit here. Okay, I think that's it. I'm not dare to touch this. Now, it's gonna be interesting in bringing this up. Let's see. Maybe so. Okay. Maybe. Looks promising. Promising. Ah. Now let's bring the cake over. I don't know, guys, but let's see. Brought my cake. Not bad. However, uh-oh. Oops. Whoopsie doosey. Whoops. Hey, not bad. Okay, now, hopefully, I go on the sides. Hey, it's not a, I didn't do too shabby, being that's my first time that I do this. And I've seen them that they just take this thing and go like that, I guess. Now, I need to get my pizza cutter. So let's see. I find that a pizza cutter works a lot better than a knife to cut the fondant off because it cuts it even and you can get really close to the cake. Okay, I think I found what I like. Nice and simple. So I'm going to put that around the cake with those little flowers, blue flowers that I made. I will put in the center, I will put something in the center. But let's see if we can make that in the Cricut. I'll see. Actually, I might not need the Cricut. I might be able to do that with just the gum paste in a little roll. So I definitely, here's my gum paste. Or maybe I'll use fondant. Let me see, I'm kind of winging it as we go. I think I'm not going to use my Cricut cake today because I already created the flowers. Maybe I'll use the fondant now. Oops, let me go ahead and close this. And after I clean the whole mess, I'm making more messes. But let me see, how would that come out? Let me get some brown. I buy these Wilton concentrated color because it's better. You just need a little bit. And I keep all my cake stuff in one container. I even have some dust. I might use some of that, but I'll leave it in here so I don't lose it. So let me see if I find brown. Here's some brown. Maroon brown. Let's try that. So you want to use toothpicks to put the color in. I might use a little Crisco for my hand so it won't stick to my hand. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of this. So I guess I need a little more brown. Because see, I used that brown and I made this one. I didn't like that brown. So I think I need a little more. And you got to be careful to get it all over your hands. I'm going to clean my hands. And I'm going to use some gloves. Because if I do make some more colors, I buy these disposable gloves at Costco. Get like 3 for real cheap. And that's what I use when I'm handling meats and stuff like that. But I'm going to use that to kind of blend in my color so I don't get the color on my hands. Because what was happening yesterday when I was playing with it, it was transferring some of my color in my hand, was transferring onto the clay. And I really want this to look a little less amateurish if I can avoid it. I want it to make it look a little more professional. I'm being judged by my whole office. So I'll make sure that I at least make a decent job on this. Oh. Transfer some of that color on the mat. I don't want to do that. So you keep kneading it. And maybe I'll use some black. Let me go get some black. Let me take off my gloves. Let me find some black on my stuff here. Here's some black. Let me use some of that. See, I bought this years ago and I haven't even used it. So I got to start using it a little more often than what I have been. Actually, my daughter's been using it more than me. So I need to use it more often. Ew. I think that's gonna look good. More gloves. So I'm gonna go ahead and knead this all together and then shall be back. Okay, this is the best I can do. I'll figure that's brown, hopefully. So now I'm just gonna take a little piece. I rolled about 10 of these or so, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It'll still look good once you put it on your cake. Let me continue on making all these ropes and then I'll come back and we'll place it on the cake. So I break my cake over and I'm going to start decorating it. So I'm going to make a little bit of adhesive made out of water and some of this glucose stuff. And then these paintbrush, I bought a paintbrush kit. It's a Walton paintbrush and that should work. So you just dissolve the glucose on there. Hopefully it comes out. Now let's go ahead and try this. So I made my little thing. So let's see how I can glue this on. It actually glues on pretty nicely. Hey, not bad. It doesn't look much here, but once you put it on, it's actually not looking too shabby. And try to kind of put the branches, long branches, and curve them up and down the edges of your cake, so that way it looks more natural. Following the picture a little bit, as you can see it there. So going back to the image of the cake on the internet, I use that as my reference guide, and kind of it helps me guide to see how I need to put the branches. Now I didn't want to overdo it. As you can see, I'm putting a one kind of set of branches per side of the cake. Um, if you put too much, it will just overwhelm the cake. Plus, you're going to put some flowers and other decorations on the cake, and you don't want anything to distract from your flowers and whatever else you put on it. So here I'm almost done, and it works very well, that glucose mixed with water and the paintbrush or the brush. It's not for paint. I bought it in the cake aisle. Works pretty well for this technique. Improvising as I go. I want to make some leaves, so of course I showed you the Wilton kit that I have. So I'm going to cut a bunch of leaves. So I just took some of my regular fondant, marshmallow fondant, not the gum paste, and I'm cutting bunches of leaves. I incorporated some of this green, leaf green. It's also from Walton. And just cutting these things out. Now another thing that I got that of course is Walton is these things that makes the leaf impression. So I'm hoping that once I cut it out, let's see, I can do the leaf impression, then peel it off. Oh, wow, it looks pretty nice. And I can use that for my leaves. Oops. Let me use another Cricut mat to place my leaves. So let me cut some more. I'm going to cut some more of this stuff, and I will be back. And I think I'm going to make some different color flowers and use that flower press that I used earlier to make these. I might make smaller flowers and use that with a different color to put around. So here are all my little flowers, leaves. Then I decided to make another, let me wash my hands. And then I decided to make some variegated flowers. You see that I mixed blue and then I put a little bit of black in there. And it was sticking, so that's why I had to put some more. But you can see it more here. And now I'm going to use my Wilton the little ones, and I'm going to cut. So I want to show you how this works. Put some, and this little thing I bought it at the Michael's. It's in Walton cake area. It's a little dust cover or dust little thing. Then you're going to put it here. Oops, that one didn't work out too well. I slipped. So you're going to take it, punch it, goes in there, put it on here, punch it, and then push it out. So there's a little flower. I'm going to do the same thing here. Punch it, and it comes out. See how nice it comes out? They come out like that. So you grab it, you use this thing, push it down, it comes out, plunge it out, there's your flower. So I'm going to make some more. So I got all my flowers done. I got these flowers done, and I got my leaves. Now I'm ready to assemble everything together. So I'm going to bring my cake towards me. And I did create some royal icing, and that's what I'm going to use to glue my stuff together. So actually, maybe I'll do my leaves first. I was going to put the leaf, but even though I put it on, I do peel it off because at the end I decided not to use the leaf. And it's just the color scheme was not flowing with me. I like the brown, dark brown with the light blue, and then the darker blue that has some variegation on it. I really like that color combination with the white against the white. when I put the green leaf, it was just not looking right. I don't know. So it looked pretty nice just putting the flowers in the original picture that I'm referring to on the internet, the original cake. It just has flowers, no leaves. So now the next thing is I want to cover the edge where the fondant meets that cardboard. So I decided to use some of my old-fashioned vanilla icing to kind of fill in the gap or just cover it up. I didn't have any ribbon. It would have been nice if I had thin ribbon, but I didn't know if you can use regular ribbon on your cake or if you have to buy a special one. So that's why I decided to use the icing. And it came out pretty nice. And then the next thing, the centers of my flowers needed something. So I decided to use my glitter, or not glitter, whatever this is you buy it also at Walton in the cake aisle. It's some kind of, oh, it's sparkle dust. That's what it is. So I used some of the sparkle dust to give it a little sparkles to my flowers. But actually, I think my flowers would benefit more from just a wash of the glucose with water. It gave it a sheen and not put the glitter dust. And next time I am going to use some pearls. They do sell candy pearls. I'm going to use candy pearls on the center of the flower. I think that will look fine too. I think I'm going to call it quits because I don't really want to mess it up. But there's my cake. So I hope you enjoy this video on my first ever big cake or sheet cake with fondant and flowers. And I intended to use my Cricut, but I didn't use it. So watch for more videos. I need to use that Cricut cake, so I'm gonna use it for other things. So watch for more videos on cake decoration as I progress, and hopefully I get better at this. But here's my cake. I hope my coworkers like it tomorrow for the party. And thank you for watching. Bye now.